One of the most powerful things you can do to grow your client roster and to become profitable is to be very, very, very clear on these 6 things. If there's one thing I've learned in over 7 years of working with service-based entrepreneurs, is that not everyone is very clear on these, and when any of this is muddled, it will slow you down. So get a pen and paper and let's get ready to go. All right, the first thing that you need is you need to be very clear on your ideal client. And there's a piece in your ideal client description you must have, and that is that your ideal client can afford you. Now, you're probably wondering, well, duh. But I've noticed that in the first few years of business, I was guilty of this myself. People tend to chase anyone who's interested versus people who are interested and can afford it. So you can end up wasting a lot of time following up on leads who will never be able to buy from you. So make sure that you only focus your attention on people who can afford you. 2, you must be very clear on the pain point that you solve. One of the reasons that people don't get out into the market in a big way and gain visibility is because they solve too many problems or they're not clear on it. So make sure you're very clear on the problem that you solve. 3, make sure you're very clear on how you solve the problem for them and bring value to them. So you should know the upfront benefits of working with you, and then the not so upfront, also more the intrinsic values of working with you. So for example, one of the things, so I do work with service-based entrepreneurs in strategy and mindset. And one of my clients recently said to me, you know, Jennifer, I realized from doing all this mindset work, I've become a better mother. I don't yell at my kids as much because she has small young children. And to me, that wouldn't be in my description of what I do for people, but it definitely is an added value that can come, because when you get to know yourself better, your relationships tend to flourish as well, right? So make sure that you know sort of what are the benefits beyond the obvious benefits that your ideal client will get from you. You need to know how many clients you need month to month in order to make your revenue. And also you need to know how many people do you need to get in front of in order to make that number of sales. So you got to get really clear on what your life cycle is as a customer and what your conversion rates are. And oftentimes when you're newer in business in the first couple of years, you're not going to know these numbers. So start to track how many people you talk to and how many sales you close, and start to get familiar with how many people come on webinars and will take your offer and so on and so forth. But you need to know these numbers in order to become really profitable. Next up, you need to be very clear on your marketing strategy. So you need to create a marketing strategy that you're going to stick to, that allows you to align with your highest values and your best assets. For example, if you're a really great writer, make sure writing, there's lots of ways to write, from your own blog to writing on other people's blogs, or for magazines, or for trade show magazines, or all the different online outlets that there are. But utilize your strengths in your marketing combined with where your ideal client is. Lastly, the thing that you need to be very clear on is how you are going to remain consistent. So definitely, without a doubt, this is one of the biggest reasons why most entrepreneurs don't get the visibility they need to get the numbers they need. They're not consistent in putting themselves out there. Now, there's a numerous amount of reasons for that, but you need to be clear on how you're going to stay consistent. Whether that's because you invest in a coach, or you have an accountability buddy, or you join a program or something, whatever it is, make sure you have accountability to your consistency, to sticking to your plan. And then obviously when you need to make adjustments, that's fine, but don't stop marketing, don't stop putting yourself out there, because if people don't know you're there, then they can't hire you. Okay, those are 6 things you need to be really clear on in order to fill your client roster and become really profitable. And if you need any help with this, be sure to check out my Toronto and GTA workshops, because more than likely we're going to be working on this stuff in one of them. So go to my workshops link and check out which ones are coming up next in your area so we can help you get clear and get profitable.